CMI's innovative reclaimer stabilizer, Rs-500, is the absolute industry leader in 4 areas of production. It can stabilize native soil by rotary scarifying it and blending in cement or other additives. It can reduce the plasticity of some soils by blending in lime. It can pulverize old asphalt in place, producing a solid foundation for a new riding surface. Or if the base is not adequate, it can cut through asphalt and base, blending them together to form a stabilized base. The Rs-500 can do these 4 tasks faster and more efficiently than any other machine. It's a unique marvel of design, power, and productivity. In order to determine the best methods of road reconstruction, we should consider how these roads were built. In North America, there are thousands of miles of secondary roads that evolved from dirt paths. Their first improvement was probably a layer of gravel, and later a chip and seal. Over the years, most of them have received layers of asphalt, but the soil underneath has never been stabilized, so repairing them is an endless task. Potholes, ruts, and cracks are ongoing. Water gets into the cracks, accelerating deterioration, especially in wintertime. A cross-section of one of these roads looks something like this. Thin layers of gravel and asphalt laid down on native soil, and it usually has a parabolic crown. In the past, there have been 2 principal options when it came to reconstructing such a road. One would be another layer of asphalt, but it would take an excessive amount of asphalt to change the profile to the more desirable rooftop crown. And even then, the new material could not be compacted evenly. Shallow areas would compact much more densely than deep areas, and ruts and cracks would soon reflect through the new surface. The second option would be to rip up the old asphalt, waste the material in a landfill, or haul it to a crusher and basically start over. While the asphaltic material can be reused as a base material, ripping, loading, and hauling to and from the crusher is a major expense and time consumer, and it requires closing the road to traffic for days or even weeks. Today, there is a fast-growing third option called road reclaiming, or full-depth reclamation. The Rs-500 can pulverize the asphalt and blend it with a certain amount of underlying base in place and normally in one pass. If needed, additives can be injected into the blend at the same time or in a second pass. After compaction, this new stabilized base is ready for a surface course of new hot mix. In effect, we have built a new road in record time at substantial savings, and the road was never completely closed to traffic. The process is not new, but in the past it was not as economically practical because of lower productive, inefficient equipment. The Rs-500 changed the economic equation. When a new road is built, it is equally important to have a stabilized base. Conventionally, the base is constructed with selected and carefully graded aggregates. But quality aggregates are becoming scarce and expensive, and in some areas the supply has been depleted. The alternative that shows the greatest potential is soil stabilizing, upgrading the existing subgrade soil to provide necessary strength and to meet engineering standards. The usual core samples and tests will determine what should be added to the native soil. Any number of additives may be used. For granular soils, asphalt, Portland cement, fly ash, or calcium chloride are likely to be chosen. For clay, lime is widely used. Then an Rs-500 blends it into the soil to a preset depth. A curing period may be needed. When compacted, the new base seals out moisture and provides a solid platform for the riding courses. A road built in this way will require a minimum of maintenance over a period of 20 to 30 years. The Rs-500 was designed from the ground up for both reclaiming and stabilizing. In fact, this is the first new design in over 30 years for this type of machine. The Rs-500 is the only one with the cutter and housing mounted solidly to the main frame, so that the entire machine is raised and lowered for cutting as a single unit. This is a significant advantage because it allows the entire weight of the machine to be applied directly to the cutter when needed. This gives it tremendous breakout force. And power is transferred directly to the cutter through a wide V-belt power band and planetary gear reducer. Over the years, this has proven to be the most efficient and trouble-free method of driving a cutter mandrel. Tension of the belt is controlled by a manually operated hydraulic pump. The cut is 96 inches wide and up to 16 inches deep. An optional cutter will work at up to 20 inches deep. The cutter contains tap-in teeth with tungsten carbide tips. Access to the teeth is convenient because of the wide-range elevation control and hydraulically powered door. A safety bar secures the door. The pneumatic impact tool is standard equipment. The heavy-duty steel holders can also be replaced in the field using CMI's unique pin positioning system. Routine service is easy with the Rs-500 because large swing-open doors provide access to the engine compartment and all major components. Power comes from a Caterpillar 3408 turbocharged diesel engine with 525 horsepower. A load-sensing device continually monitors the engine RPM and adjusts the forward speed of the unit accordingly. For example, if it reaches extra tough material, the sensor recognizes this additional workload and slows down the forward speed. This keeps the engine working at near capacity for efficiency and economy. The Rs-500 has full-time positive four-wheel drive with no differential. This, plus 4 wide flotation tires, keeps it working at optimum speed for whatever the conditions are, even when other machines bog down in wet soil. Proper air pressure of the tires can be maintained at the job site by a built-in air compressor and a 20-foot hose. This is the same compressor used with an impact tool to remove cutting teeth. It also has 4-way selectable steering. It can steer with front wheels or rear wheels, coordinated steering, or crab steering. And it's the only machine designed to work in either direction, up-cutting in one direction and down-cutting in the opposite direction. So when it comes to the end of a section, it can crab over to the next lane and continue working without turning around. Machines that have to turn around waste valuable production time. Another advantage in this is for butt cuts in asphalt. The Rs-500 tapers into a cut until the proper depth is reached. Then it can cut in the opposite direction, back to the starting point, and forward again to complete the lane. This leaves a clean, sharp edge, and it's the only machine that can do this. Another exclusive is the Rs-500's ability to control slope. If needed, it can cut much deeper on one side than the other. The control console can rotate 180 degrees and can lock in any position. The operator can always face forward, or he may prefer to set it at 90 degrees for working in either direction. Operating the Rs-500 is easy with the automotive-type steering wheel and computerized controls. You might think there would be some confusion about the controls when reversing directions, but CMI has a simple cure for that. When traveling in this direction with the operator near the front, the travel direction switch is set to A, and all controls operate normally. When going in the opposite direction, the switch is set to B. Now all controls work normally for this direction. No confusion. There are 2 main control panels. The one on the right has most of the mechanical controls, such as throttle and the forward-reverse travel lever. The other one is the microcontroller panel, which is basically a dedicated computer. It controls elevation and slope. The large LCD screen on this panel tells the operator whatever he wants to know about the operation of the machine. The center section tells travel speed. All four wheels are graphically shown and indicate the current steering mode. There are 4 separate display modes with a possibility of 46 different screens. In addition to the normal operating information, they cover calibration, sensitivity, and a variety of other data. Any information not available on the display is still readily visible through sight gauges. One of the important options for the RS-500 is an automated fluid injection system. A spray bar is mounted on the cutter housing and can pivot upward to give easy access to the nozzles. The system can deliver additives at rates from 5 to 150 gallons per minute. The machine operator sets the flow rate for a given speed. Then the system automatically adjusts the flow rate to allow for any deviation in speed. An alternate spray system is available for hot additives. It will handle emulsions and rejuvenators at up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. When the machine stops, the recirculating system is activated. Valves on the nozzles are closed, and the material continues to circulate through the lines to maintain temperature. If there is a single item that contributes most to a solid road structure, it's probably compaction. Maximum compaction usually takes many passes with a pneumatic tired roller and a vibratory compactor. Consider this. With the cutter raised, the RS-500 can be used as a very efficient compactor. It has wide flotation tires, over 58,000 pounds gross weight, and travels at speeds up to 9 miles per hour. While the RS-500 was designed specifically for reclaiming and stabilizing, solid construction and superior design make it a valuable tool in other areas. Surface mining is another area where the RS-500 is proving its worth. Here, it's mining gypsum, cutting and sizing the material so it can be picked up with a front loader. It has also been used to mine salt and other minerals. Here, it's cutting calcium sulfate for use as a base material. The RS-500 has already established itself as the high production leader among road reclaimers and soil stabilizers. In comparison tests, it has equaled the production of 3 to 4 competitive machines, so that also makes it the overall economy leader. Dependable service, the highest return on investment. That's the RS-500, from the company that stands by its products and its customers. CMI.